So today we're going to be taking a look at a watch that I think a lot of us in the watch community kind of overlook. I know I'm guilty of it. It's actually the first time I'm featuring one on the channel. The brand is Mido, and I have in the Ocean Star Tribute in blue. I was at Gem Bijou the other day and looking at some of the watches he had in stock, and this one just jumped out at me, and I had to ask if it was available to share with you guys on the channel, if he could lend it in for a couple of days, and the owner, Sam, agreed to do that. If you are shopping watches, Gem Bijou is an authorized dealer for Mido and many other brands. Big thanks to them again for lending it in. Check them out at gembijou.com. So let's jump into it and take a look at the watch. Now, I may be torturing myself here with this one, but the second I saw this watch, my mind went straight to being beachside somewhere. It's the dead of winter here and not likely to be heading south anytime soon, but this would definitely be the perfect watch for it. The watch is also available in black, but for me, the blue with that pop of orange and combined with the bling factor of all the polish work is where it's at. It is very easy on the eyes for sure. The box is kind of big, so let me just show it to you quick, and I'm going to get it out of the way here, but you can see at the bottom we have Ocean Star Tribute Special Edition. This watch actually celebrates the 75th anniversary of the Ocean Star. Included is a second quick release strap. It's sort of a sailcloth style strap backed with leather. In the bottom of the outer box, you also get this spring bar tool to help with the removal of the bracelet. So you get some unique packaging with it and a couple of extras, which is cool. When it comes to the watch, there's two cons with this one. One is kind of a preference thing, and the other is a straight negative no matter how you slice it. The first one isn't an issue for me, but maybe for some, and that is that this watch is 100% completely polished. There is not a stitch of brushwork anywhere on the watch. That goes for the watch itself and the bracelet, the clasp. Everywhere is polished on this watch. I'd normally lean toward a diver that's got some more brushwork to it, but this just looks so good the way it is. It'll definitely show scratches more than a brushed watch, and it's a bit of a fingerprint magnet, but I like it. I could see it being a deal breaker for some, but I think it just works with this design. The bracelet with these fine links, I would imagine, wears really nice. This is a brand new watch, so I didn't size it, but it's so fluid. It's got to feel good on wrist. The clasp is a solid clasp with a ratcheting dive extension. And I know you see this style of clasp on some of the micro brand divers, but this is machined better than most. It's just a little smoother feel to it. Now, even though the watch has that blinginess about it with all the polishing, one of the reasons it works is the dial. It's not a flashy blue. It's a nice shade of blue, but it kind of tones down the look of the watch. The pop of orange works great. Blue and orange is always a good color combination. The rectangular handset is dishing out the retro vibes in a pretty big way, as is the boxed sapphire crystal with that distortion. Now, I mentioned earlier a second negative with the watch, and that is the lume. It's pretty weak. The hour markers especially fade really fast and aren't overly bright to begin with. The hands are okay, but nothing to write home about when it comes to the lume on this one. It's a little bit disappointing considering how much I like the rest of the watch, but that is definitely the one bigger negative with this piece. So the size on this, I think, should work for most wrists. It's kind of a sweet spot case size with the width of 41 millimeters. The lug to lug is 46.9 millimeters. Lug opening is 21 millimeters, so an odd size, but for me, I think this would be living on the bracelet, so that wouldn't matter. Thickness is 13.6 millimeters, including the crystal. The water resist is 200 meters, and running the watch is the ETA-based caliber 80. It's the same 80-hour power reserve movement you see some other brands under the Swatch umbrella use. A quick look on my 7¼ inch wrist, and this thing is sweet even with its faults. It's a very cool watch. It looks really good on this bracelet. And check this out. The bracelet is actually way too big for me. I'd need to take probably 2 or 3 links out of it, but if I roll my wrist over, the way it conforms to the wrist, it just sort of stays in place. So very cool. MSRP on this watch is $13.25 Canadian. I believe MSRP in the US is at $11.50 US dollars. If you're looking for one of these, there is one available right now at Gem Bijou, this particular one. Thanks again to them for lending it in. I really appreciate that. Check them out at gembijou.com. Thanks to you guys for stopping by, and we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.